Hello, everybody, and welcome back. You know where. This is Wander to the Edge. My name is Adam Asher, and I am from the Edge of Adventure.
I'm Zanne. I'm from Where Gals Wander.
Thank you, Zanne, for speaking so calmly and so carefully. I'm not sure whether you're trying to make fun of me or, that's, I'm not sure, but you have a great voice anyway. But I'm going to
I,
try to.
I'm I'm still trying to recover from last week's party.
It was a great party. It was awesome. Here we are wrapping up the month of October, and of course, I have a great guest for today. And turning the page on the episodes. This is now episode 26. But if you missed last week, it was episode 25. We were celebrating our 25th episode, and we had a live program, a lot of wonderful guests. So just be sure you check that out and catch up on it, because it was a
Yeah.
great time. And we want to say thanks to everybody who joined us, both those who joined us on the air, and then also those who joined us and commented and shared and all that. It's one big happy family, and
It was a good time.
couldn't do any of this without you guys. So
Yeah.
big day. I think I
Yep.
mentioned it is the end of October, Zan.
Literally the end of October. It's Halloween. Where's your costume?
Is it Halloween?
It's Halloween. I love Halloween.
I don't know. I feel woefully unprepared for this. I bet you're prepared, though.
Well,
I bet knowing you.
Of course I'm prepared. So I'm going to put my costume on right now.
Okay.
Since it's Halloween. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm. Am I supposed to guess?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're gonna go as Molly, your dog.
No. Here, let me show you.
Oh no!
I'm gonna go as you.
No.
I'm gonna be Adam Asher. I got the jacket and the hat and the beard. I'm Adam Asher. Hello, my name is Adam Asher, and welcome to Wander to the Edge.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now you see. I mean, what can I do? You can't tell Zan what to do, and consequently, you end up getting in this kind of trouble. All right. So, Zan, thank you. That's a great costume. And what is that? Is that available at Costumes R Us or something?
I'm sure that we should make a website for Wander to the Edge just to be able to sell.
Yeah, I'm going to write that down. That's actually a good idea. Let's get that going we have 365 days to get that in.
I don't know. Even for us, it's a type.
It is. I mean, I don't want to make any promises. That's kind of a quick turnaround, and it just 1 year. Okay. Well, listen, great to be back. Another great Saturday, and we're going to go ahead and finish October in style, and obviously prep for Halloween. But we got a great guest today, and Cynthia Fogard is joining us, and I know we're looking forward to having her on the show.
We are. Cynthia is a core member of what we call kind of our travel tribe team. She's on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest. She is just a lot of fun. I mean, it's going to be another good time.
She is a lot of fun. She's also very talented. She's very gifted at conveying to the viewer and those who follow her social media and the blog and all that, to conveying the experience. Great photographer too. So let's get to know her next, right here on this beautiful Saturday on
Wander to the Edge.
Cynthia, welcome to the program.
Hello, thank you.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Are you ready to go trick-or-treating tonight?
Well, no. But I will eat lots of candy.
Okay, so the trick-or-treaters, they're going to come to your place. All right, that's right. Yeah. Switch it up this year. Switch it up. Absolutely great to have Cynthia on the program today, you all will get to know her, and you'll also learn more about her travel platform, adventuringwoman.com.
Yep.
So, yeah, just great to have you on the show.
Thank you.
So Cynthia, I want to start off just asking, I mean, do you typically do something for Halloween, or, kind of what's your favorite holiday, that you celebrate?
For Halloween, I typically just hide in my house so no kids knock on my door because I don't have any candy for them. But if I do have any candy, I just eat it all myself anyway. But my favorite, I like Halloween. I mean, it's really fun if you can dress up and go to a party. I don't think we can do that this year, but my favorite holiday is probably Thanksgiving.
That's right around the corner too.
Yeah, that's right around the corner too. And
yeah.
since here at Wander to the Edge, we like to do special broadcasts.
Oh.
I'm not going to tell you too much about it, but you do need to be aware. We have a special for it'll be the Saturday before Thanksgiving. So just stay tuned for that as well.
Okay.
So, all right,
November 21st. Yep.
So did you use like a calendar to figure that out? Zanne, how'd you get the date?
You know what? I have skills that would amaze you, Adam. Things that you don't even know yet. Just wait.
I don't want to plan, and please don't make me use a calendar.
An amazing memory she must have.
She does, and I keep forgetting that.
Yeah.
So, you're in Minnesota. You love Minnesota. You love the state. Tell me about the fall up there. And I know it's beautiful. I can tell. We take a look at your social media. I think the colors are in full swing.
You guys, it is so beautiful this year. I don't know exactly technically why, but the colors are just super, super brilliant this year. Must be just a combination of the conditions, but it's just incredibly gorgeous. And I was going to ask you, but of course I wasn't really ahead of myself, if there's any way I could share photos with you, because I was just out yesterday taking a bunch of fall pictures, and it was just so beautiful. It was the perfect day. The sky was just cerulean blue, and the colors were just amazing. And I was by the river. There's so many places to go right in town here. I'm really lucky. So I've been on 2 of the different bridges over the river taking pictures. And I was to Minnehaha Falls last week.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. It's just been amazing this year. And I love fall anyway. And I just love, usually I take a big fall foliage drive, usually on the Great River Road over Wisconsin. And I haven't done that so far this year. I still probably have time to go south and still catch some colors. But mainly I've just been going around town, and I found some beautiful stuff. I mean, there's just so many places to go around town. So
what camera do you use? Your photos are always very good, very great. They're great photos, and also
so kind. Well, I have a real camera. I forget what it is right now.
I mean, it's just amazing, though. I mean, your composition and your colors and just how crisp and sharp they are. You really capture so much detail.
Oh, you are so kind. Thank you so much. I mean, actually, I use my phone a lot. I have a Pixel, and it has a really nice camera, and I use it a lot. Of course, a lot of times that's all you have is your phone. So I do use that a lot, and I do have this real camera that I used yesterday. I hadn't actually used it for a while, and I took it out the other day, and I turned it on, and I had no battery. So I was like, oh. So I ended up having to shoot everything with my phone. But if I remember, when I remember it, I'll tell you guys what it was. But Lynn of Mad Hatters NYC, I have the same camera she has because I asked her advice, and it sounded awesome, so I got that one. It's very lightweight, and I just
Yeah.
wanted to be able to carry it around without it being too heavy. And I don't know a lot of technical stuff. In fact, my technical fails are pretty much epic. So
You're not still trying to put film in the camera, are you?
no, but I did something so bad when I first got the camera. I actually first got it right before did all this traveling last fall. I went to Chicago and Oklahoma City, and I had this thing where you can transfer the photos from the camera onto your phone because I wanted to be able to back them up onto Google, because I have a Pixel, so it backs everything up onto Google. And I did that for all these trips and then realized later that I had only been sending like little tiny web-sized files. That's all I have now of all those photos.
Oh no.
Yeah. And I erased all the full-size files because I was trying to get rid of them and make room so I could take more pictures. So yeah, and I didn't even discover that until I went to the camera store and I'm like, I really am not getting good resolution. With these photos out here. And they're like, well, I don't see why you wouldn't be. And then we discovered what I'd done. And I was just like, oh my God. So I just did that for like 3 big trips, all my photos. I mean, they're still nice, but if you can just see them really little, they're great.
So how many photos are on your phone right now? Because, this is something that we talk about on Twitter all the time, especially with road trip couple, like trying to figure out who has the most photos on their phone.
Well, you mean still actually on my phone?
Yeah, like right now, how many photos are on your phone?
Because I get rid of them fairly often. So I wouldn't say I probably have more than 500 or 1,000 or something like that. I know I just took 500 photos probably.
Well, she has all the, she can, Zanne, here's the thing. She can have all those photos on her phone because she's just saving the small version.
That's true.
I have figured that out now. I'm not doing that anymore. But yeah, I don't have too many. I maybe have like 700 or something on my actual phone.
I have 92,000.
On your actual phone? How can there be room for all those on there?
That's not what she means.
No, it is what I mean.
No, they're in the cloud.
Well, they're in the cloud, but I can access them.
That I'll agree with.
Oh, well, yeah. I can access them on my phone too.
Yeah, 98.
Yeah. Right, because
no, I don't
you've got
wow.
Because you've got an iPhone, right, Zanne?
I do. Yeah. And
so with it gives you that sense that they're on your phone because they're accessible. You can see them. But if you're paying for the iCloud or the cloud service, but honestly, that is literally in the modern age where we take as many photos as we do. To your point, it's nice when you have your great camera, but a lot of times you don't. It's nice to have a good camera in your phone. And then, most of the time you don't want to go back through and throw a bunch of them out. I mean, some of them, sure, but so many of them you want to keep. So now we're taking so many photos and the only way to really do that is to have them in some kind of a cloud storage. So I
do try to weed them down, some right away and then some later, just because so many.
Listen, you travel so much, and you mentioned Chicago and Oklahoma City. And my question is, why would you go to both of those cities? Because they're basically the same.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I'm a Chicago girl. You know that, Adam.
That's why he said that. Right?
I know.
Yeah. Chicago is fairly near Minneapolis, and it's just, of course, Chicago is a fun place. And I hadn't been there for a few years, so I had an awesome time. And Oklahoma City, I kind of went to as a work thing. And then I ended up working with their CVB to stay for some extra time and do a little write-up on them. So that was really fun. And I was surprised. It was a super fun place. They had a lot of great old architecture. They had this museum with this huge Chihuly collection that was really fun, and a lot of good stuff to eat. I just totally pigged out so much. It was wonderful. It's really kind of a foodie town. Yeah, so I had a good time.
I love places that you go to that aren't as well known, right? That you have the opportunity to discover them yourself without seeing a million photos of them on Instagram, without, having any preconceived notions. And like you said, get to experience the food and the sights and just really soak it in.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just fun because each place is unique. And if you're just open to that, it can just be so much fun. Like, it so happens when I was in Oklahoma City, it was the beginning of November, but that's like peak of fall foliage season there. And so it was just beautiful. And they have these trees called bald cypresses. And they're like an evergreen, but they lose all their leaves. And they also turn like this bright orange color in the fall. And I thought those were so cool, and it was just really pretty. So it was just really a fun time to be there because it was a beautiful season, and it was still really nice weather for the most part. And I had a good time. It was probably someplace I don't know that I would have, went on my own, but I happened to be going and then got to work with them, and I had a great time. I would go back. I liked it. And of course, Chicago is just, I want to go back to Chicago. I wanted to go back to Chicago right away.
Yeah. Where did you go in Chicago? Like, what parts did you see?
Well, I've been before and done some of the main touristy stuff. So, I mean, I had never done a boat tour.
I was going to ask.
Yeah. So I did that, and I love that, the architecture tour, boat tour, and that was fun. Hung around downtown some, but also went to, I went to Ukrainian Village.
Okay.
And that was really fun, just looking at all the different architecture and stuff. And I also wandered around, and I was in a couple other neighborhoods as I was wandering near there.
Yeah.
And I went to some interesting places to eat. I had Peking duck in somewhere. It was like where you get their whole reel, like Peking duck and everything.
Yeah.
I ate a lot of donuts and stuff. It's all these donut places. I was researching, donuts.
Yeah.
It's an important thing to do. Yeah, I ended up going to the cultural center, which is beautiful. I'd never been there before. I went to, it was how do you say that? Dios de los Muertos?
Adam,
and so I went to,
help her out there.
Yeah, I went to, is it Pilsen?
Mm-hmm.
And went to a celebration. The area that's got a lot of Mexican Americans.
Yep.
Yeah, and that was really interesting. So yeah, I was going all over on the L, and I got really confused. How it goes in this circle, and I thought I was on the wrong train because then I was like, oh, this is going the wrong way. So I actually got off, and then I had to get back on again. Yeah. But I figured that out eventually.
Well, I had to ask just because I know that you're a huge fan of architecture, and that a lot of your photos feature, how the area that you're traveling through is reflected through the architecture.
Mm-hmm.
So, any other particular favorite places that you feel the architecture really defines the culture of where you're at?
Well, I mean, and that's been a fairly recent thing, I guess, with me. But yeah, I do really love architecture, and that's something I always really like to explore. So the last place I went before COVID hit was actually Kenosha, Wisconsin. And they have a lot of wonderful old historic architecture there. It's really amazing, like how much has been preserved. And they have like, I think 5 different historic districts and just like amazing, wonderful stuff. That was really fun and really, and of course, Chicago is like one of the best architecture places in the world, right? I mean, I just fell in love with so many of the buildings, like the Wrigley building. You know, I was checking out the entrance with all this stuff. And then what's that one that's green, you know? It's downtown and it's green and it's kind of a Art Deco building. And it's like the whole outside is green. It's really tall skyscraper. I forget what it's called.
I can't recall.
I was so into that one. I kept like
running
around and taking pictures of it and stuff. Yeah. And of course, New York too. It's a lot of wonderful architecture.
Yeah.
And really the kind of the skyscrapers define New York, both New York and Chicago. Yeah. And Minneapolis, you know, we're the mini, but we have some cool stuff, you know.
Yeah.
I'm actually trying to explore that more. I'm going to explore that more maybe this winter since I'm probably not going to really go anywhere. So there's a lot of stuff in Minneapolis, but I never do anything in Minneapolis. You don't really appreciate right where you are until you kind of have to, you know? So yeah. I've been trying to do more of that, but we have a lot of interesting old Art Deco buildings downtown and stuff. So I'd like to explore that a little more.
Yep.
Our guest today on Wander to the Edge is Cynthia Fogard, and she is joining us from Minnesota. And we're learning about her, the things that places she's been, and the things that she loves. Let's talk about your blog and your website, Adventuring Woman. Tell us where that started, what your vision and passion was that made you or drove you to the creation of adventuringwoman.com.
Okay. Well, that's kind of an interesting story. So I used to travel a lot with my former partner. We kind of went all over the world, went to a lot of different places, and she kind of really gave me the travel bug. And then I hadn't been anywhere for a while after we split, and I just had a lot of things going on. And so I'd kind of hadn't traveled much. And I had been in this job where I didn't really like it. And it was a contract job, but they had offered me a full-time job, and I decided not to take it, which was like a huge thing for me. I decided, no, I think I decided I was going to take a solo trip to Southeast Asia, like backpacking, which I'm not really a backpacker. I'm more of a luggage type person, but I decided that's what I was going to do. I wanted to go for like 2 months. And so very naively, I thought, I should start a travel blog, like maybe that would help me, with my trip, and I was completely clueless. I had no idea that travel blogging was such like a big thing, that it was so competitive and all that. I just thought, oh yeah, I'll just do that, And so it took me a really while to get my site up because I'm kind of technically challenged. And but finally I did. And initially I was going to have it also be kind of about dating or relationships and all this stuff. And then I happened to meet my partner very shortly after I think I started my blog. I got my blog up. And so things changed a lot for me. And she is Thai, so eventually I will spend this time in Thailand. And she's actually there right now. And originally I was going to go too, but because of everything, decided not to at this time. But yeah, so things just changed a lot. But I just really, met people in the travel tribe through Twitter and that kind of things. And I've become really good friends with a number of people. It's just such a great community. And, I think I've grown somewhat in my, in my writing. And I just when everything happened recently and traveling wasn't possible, I stopped doing posts for a while. And I really thought a lot about what, I wanted to do. And after some time, I came to the conclusion that I really love writing about traveling. I mean, and even if, you can write about stuff, even if I have plenty of places I've been that I haven't written about yet. And even if I'm just writing about my hometown, it's not really about necessarily getting on a plane and going somewhere, but it's just about exploring, and that's what I love. And I have a lot of passion for that. And so I love doing that. And, I'm not going to be a famous travel blogger or anything, but that's okay.
We think you're famous. We think you're famous. Don't say that.
Yeah, you're pretty successful. You have a pretty big following.
Oh, that's very nice. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So Thailand, okay, that'll be when the time is right. That'll be a great trip. Tell me though, you say that you have a theory about why people in China are cranky.
Oh, yeah. So from my experience being in China, so I went to China, I was there for like a month. I think I was there for 4 or 5 weeks. And so my opinion is that people might be a little cranky because the beds are so hard. I have never slept on harder beds than I have in China. And actually, the nicer the hotel was, the harder the bed would be. It was like, it seemed to be a desirable thing to have like a hard bed. Because when I was in a hostel, the bed was actually pretty comfortable. But like in a more mid-range hotel, it would be harder. I mean, it was so hard. Literally, you guys, I would like put all the pillows down and then I put like the comforter on top, like everything I could under me to lay on because it was so hard. You couldn't even sleep. Seriously. It was so hard. Unreal. And then, and then there's some really interesting toilets there. Also, yes. Yeah. Thankfully, I wasn't like documenting everything at that time. So, yeah. Now I'd probably take a picture of everything I encountered. But
okay, Zanne, quick segue.
Yeah. So let's stay on the topic of China or Asia.
Okay.
Tell me a little bit more about, because we hear this theme from people that we have on the show that they just one day decided that they were going to pick up and go somewhere. And you just decided to pick up and go backpacking in Asia. I mean, how did that come to be? Like, why backpacking? Because you yourself said you're not really a backpacker. Why did you pick that location and that way of traveling?
Well, so Southeast Asia, I have never been. I mean, I've been to China and India, so I've been but I'm thinking the Southeast Asian mainland, Thailand and Burma, Vietnam and Laos and everything. And that's someplace I've never been and I've always wanted to go. I mean, one of my dream places to go is Angkor Wat. And also, I'm really, really interested in going to Burma. When I started thinking about it, it is when it had just recently opened to tourism, and now, of course, it's been open to tourism for a while, but still much less long than a lot of other places. So that's just really interesting to me, to go there now before it gets to be super touristy, So, and there's just so many beautiful things there. So it's just somewhere I'm really interested in going. And before I got in a relationship with a Thai person, because like I say, we are probably actually going to retire to Thailand. So I'm sure I'm probably going to spend a lot of time in Southeast Asia eventually. I thought, well, I love to travel, but I hate to fly. I despise flying. It's just so horrible. It makes me just feel terrible. And so it's a really, really long flight to Southeast Asia. So I thought, if I'm going to fly there, I'm just going to stay there for a while and just see the whole thing. I'm just going to stay there and just go all over the mainland and just see everything, because I'm probably not going to go back, So that was my theory. And then I wanted to stay there a long time. So in order to stay longer, I thought to do the cheapest thing would be to backpack. So I don't know how I could get everything in a backpack. I'm like really bad packer, but that was my theory. So
Got it. All right. Well, there's certain things that drive different types of travel, and I guess budget is definitely one of them.
Well, there's also a freedom too, to just having a pack on your back and just, instead of having all this stuff to haul around. I mean, it's an appealing idea to have that much freedom, to just be able to get up and go. So as long as you don't have to have all your makeup and stuff, it's like you only have a couple outfits, whatever.
Well, it sounds like you should probably also bring maybe a mat and a sleeping bag, especially if you end up in a hostel. I mean, if you end up in a nice hotel.
I came up with something. So I got one of these, there's these inflatable mat things, like people use them for camping and stuff. And I got one that's really lightweight and it gets down really small. And so I'm going to travel with that. Yeah.
Good idea.
So in case the bed's hard or whatever. I actually experienced that going to LA last year. The bed was really hard. And so that's why I came up with this idea of the inflatable thing. Like, I'm going to bring this inflatable thing with me everywhere now.
Travel necessity.
I don't know if it's because I'm old or what, but I just don't like sleeping in some really hard bed. I don't know.
So this is Wander to the Edge, and we are talking with Cynthia Fogard today. And one of the things I like to do here is also share the screen and show some different pictures. We've been doing that throughout the broadcast today. So here's this one. Do you bake? Right? Am I picking up on that correctly?
Yeah,
okay.
I do. Yeah, I make a lot of cakes. I make cakes for my friends' birthdays.
And this one got my attention because that's a tres leches cake, right? Is that complicated to make?
It's a little bit of a pain in the butt. That was the first time I had made one. There's a fair amount of steps to it. You've got to make the cake, you got to soak it, and then trying to get these sticky layers off and then get them together. Because this was kind of a fancy one where you had it in layers, which looks nice. Because usually I think they're just a single layer, like in a pan. Like usually you don't mess around with all this stuff. But yeah, but it wasn't too hard, and it turned out really good. It had a lot of whipped cream on it, like unbelievable amount.
Well, when somebody, that one looks really great, by the way. And when somebody knows what they're doing and they make a good tres leches cake, I mean, it's spot on. So congratulations on being somebody that is adventurous, not just in terms of the places that you go, but also the different types of challenges you might undertake. So congrats.
Well, I tell you, I do request.
Delicious.
I do request. So
well, I'll send you Adam's birthday and his address. So
but that's why I make things. So my partner requested a tres leche cake. And then I have a couple friends who like German chocolate. So I've learned to make a German chocolate cake, like with the 3 layers and the whole thing.
Well, since it's Halloween, maybe I'll try baking, because every time I try anything in the kitchen, I end up like summoning demons or something. Like it's not a pretty sight.
It's kind of you have to have the temperament for it. Like you can't really experiment with, with baking.
Yeah.
Like you just have to be really careful of measurement and that kind of thing. And some people are more like, when they're cooking, they just kind of do their thing and just kind of experiment. And you're maybe that kind of cook.
Yeah, it's the whole, like, recipe, like, follow these instructions, and
Yeah.
again, I'm like, "You can't tell me what to do."
Right. She's like, no,
Yeah.
I'm going to make this how I want to make this.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a problem with baking. Yeah.
So
End up with a problem there.
I've heard it. I have heard it said that cooking is art and that baking is science.
Mm.
Who knows? I certainly don't. But it.
I mean, of course, there's an art part to baking too, but more on the presentation part.
But you really do like the ingredients. And this is why Zanne hates it. Is because the ingredients have to be what the recipe says.
Yeah,
and
really
the amount of the temperature and the time and all those steps have to be. Otherwise, it doesn't scientifically work like it's supposed to. But so yes, I look forward to receiving a tres leches cake in the mail for my birthday, which we will not mention what day that is. So it's just absolutely great to get to know you. That's what we like to do on the show is talk to the people in this wonderful travel tribe, get to know them ourselves a little bit better, and then also share the moment with the rest of the travel tribe, with so many wonderful people around the world.
Yeah, it's such a wonderful community.
It really is, and you're such a vital part of it. And I know we've been connected for years, and like so many people, we interact on social media to a degree, but this is our opportunity to really get to know the person. And you're delightful. You're so much fun. I love just your energy and to hear you laugh. And it's just good for the soul. It's good any day. It's certainly good today as we wrap up October. And I guess we're headed into the next month. And I know you love your state up there, the beautiful fall colors. This has been a year where we've lost so much. We've lost so much. I think it's just super, super important for all of us to go back to enjoying the simple things, right? When you look at the trees, the colors of the trees, and you feel the new cool fall and soon to be winter air. I mean, we've got to go back to appreciating those things.
Yeah.
Because it's the year's taken its toll on us.
Yeah, I totally agree. And so many people, have been writing about things close to home, and there's so much great stuff, like just like, a number like John Carpe Diem has been writing about Ireland, and people have just been writing about things close to home, and then they've been discovering things that are just wonderful. There's things that are close to home that I've never even looked at because, I tend to be focused on going out there. And so this is kind of an opportunity to do that. And it's actually been really enjoyable. And I really feel lucky to live where I do. I love Minnesota. I love Minneapolis. It's a great, great city.
And Adam, a couple weeks ago, you had an adventure of your own. I don't know where you were, but you posted some footage on your Instagram, Adam Asher, of just some amazing scenes. Where were you?
So, of course, home for me here is in the Atlanta area, and we get all 4 seasons. It's certainly our winter is nowhere near as brutal as it would be in Minneapolis and can be in that part of the country in Chicago, but we get a little bit. But no, I guess that's unrelated. But I like to get out in the fall, and in particular, and go to one of my favorite locations here just outside of Atlanta. It's called Sweetwater State Park. It's a Georgia state park. And I mean, of course, a lot of people know about it, but it always strikes me when I'm over there that not that many people know.
Bring up the footage if you can.
Okay.
Those were some amazing shots that you took.
Okay, I will do that. And I know we're just about to
wrap
up the show, but I did want to say one thing. I'll look for that and see if I can pull that up here. But speaking of footage, or it's not footage, this is just an image. I think I found the picture of your donut research.
Oh yeah.
That's one of them. Yeah. I think donut research is very important. And Chicago will have some of the best donuts like ever.
And pizza.
And pizza. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I had a deep dish pizza. I hadn't had that before, so I had to try that. But
yeah. It's one thing I miss out here in LA.
Yeah. I love LA too, Zanne. I went there for the first time last year, and it was really an interesting place. I loved LA.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. By popular demand, I found the video footage. It's just a short clip I posted on Instagram at Adam Asher on Instagram, and this is why I like to go. You have to. It's a little bit of a hike to get to this location, but no matter what time of the year it is, and then here you can see it was still green. But I'm going to try to get back over there and enjoy the fall colors as well. But yeah, these moments are important. You think it's not really that big of a deal, but it is. It is a big deal, and we've got to be able to go back to just enjoying the simple things, not taking any of it for granted, just the ability to get out of the house and drive a few minutes down to some place somewhere, go on a little hike, see something beautiful. I mean, if you can't make the time for that and also appreciate it, then you're missing out, because it's a simple thing. But I always find it is it helps me just to recenter, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree.
So make sure that you're following Adventuring Gal on all the platforms: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter for, Adventuring Woman on Facebook and Instagram, Twitter, Adventuring Gal, as well as on Pinterest. And then also make sure that you're following Adam and I. So Adam, you can find him over on Adam Asher on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, and The Edge of Adventure on all those as well. And then I on all those as Where Gals Wander. So give us a follow and, become part of our tribe.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Zanne, for bringing that up. Anybody that wants to follow either of us, really the best place to start would be probably these two websites. And if you go there, of course, you can get all the social links, and sometimes, given the way Twitter is, sometimes you have to choose a slight different variation for Twitter, and that happens. But all of those links are there, and we would love to have that connection on the different platforms as well. So, hey, everybody, it is absolutely great to have this opportunity to share some more time with you, and also to get to know Cynthia Fogard today. As you can tell, as we say here in the South, she's a doll, wonderful person, and so much fun. So, Cynthia, thank you for your time. Thanks for sharing your inspiration as you travel and experience wonderful things and see wonderful sights. Thanks for sharing them with the world via your website, which is, as we mentioned, adventuringwoman.com. Adventuringwoman.com.
Thank you so much, Adam and Zanne. This has been fun. Yeah. I was scared, but you made me not too scared now.
I understand. I am scared every week.
Well, that's because you're scared that Zanne's going to give you a hard time.
I know. Yeah, pretty much. Yes. Yeah. So apparently I'm not hiding it that well.
That's what I'm here for.
Hey, ladies, thank you so much. Enjoy your Saturday. Hopefully you get the opportunity to get outside and enjoy it. It's been great to spend some time with you, Cynthia. We'll be in touch. Thanks again for all that you do and all that you share with the social media travel tribe.
Thank you.
All right, Zanne, that's going to wrap it up. We're done. It's time to go enjoy a Saturday. Everybody have a great time. We'll see you next week right here on
Wander to the Edge.